Hello, this is Counterattack. We are playing Salerno 43. It's from GMT Games. Designer Mark Simonich. It's one of the games in the Place Name Year series. No one actually calls it that, but Normandy 44, Ukraine 43, Stalingrad 42, and so on. So this is Salerno 43. There we go. We got the valley, I guess, the plains just south of Salerno in Italy. The Allies, World War II, of course. Allies, British here, Americans here, invading, German defenders. The goal is for the Allies to get 20 victory points. If they don't get 20 victory points by the end of the game, they lose. Also, there are automatic victory checks based on how many victory points the Allies have, starting on turn 4. So they need, I think, at least 1 point by turn 4. They'll get it. You can see these are victory points here. Bam, bam, and so on. The little red guys. There's a total of, I think, 17 points on the board, and then you can get points for exiting the board and destroying enemy artillery units. The Allies lose points if they lose artillery units and airborne units. So anyway, let's get cracking. Okay, here we are, zoomed in on the Gulf of Salerno, so the northern part of that invasion area. And we normally would start with the weather phase, but on turn 1, we skip it. We also, on turn 1, start with a special invasion phase, because we're invading. We'll start at this end of the bay. You can start on any of these invasion forces. You can see the arrows pointing to where they're going to invade. We're going to start with the American Rangers. They're invading the town of Maiori, something like that. Okay, and it's very simple. You can see the invasion CRT, Rangers column. We're going to roll. We have a 3. So we can see that says advance 2. So this entire force is going to advance after combat up to 2 hexes. First hex has to be the invasion beach, so we can do that. And then they can keep on moving or drop units off. So I don't really know what's going on here, but and I don't know the battle, but I do know mountains and hills offer good defensive terrain. So maybe we'll advance 2 of the guys up the valley, and I don't know, maybe 1 will come over and get this port. Okay, I'm assuming ports will be interesting, and just for now we'll mark it. I don't like using control markers, but just for now we'll mark it. So yeah, that was easy. Next, we'll do the Commandos. The Commandos are rolling on the commando column. We have a 5. That is a 2 hex advance. So they're going to advance 1 hex, and they are going to conduct a breakthrough attack. This is the only unit on the first turn that's able to do a breakthrough attack. They have an extra advance, because they have 2 hex advance. They can convert that into a breakthrough attack against this garrison in Salerno, which is worth 2 points. So this will be a nice grab right off the bat. The strength of a garrison is variable, so we're going to roll on the variable chart. All right, its value is 0. So that means it is destroyed automatically, and they may advance using they may or may not advance into here, which of course they will. And the Allies get 2 victory points. Okay, we're going to go down the bay a bit, focus on the main British landing. Let's go ahead and start with the units landing at Uncle Beach. You can see there's like a little defensive marker there, and that's really, it's just for artistic purposes, but its effect is accounted for in the chart, as you can see, because there's potential for loss. Got a 3. That is a single hex advance, so all these guys advance right in here. Let me just show you what they are though. So we have a beachhead marker, and so that's representing the beachhead that we've taken a beach. Has a stacking value of 0. Okay, so we can stack up to 6 points worth of units. This unit here has a thin rectangle around it. So those cost 1 stacking point, but the first one's free. So this guy's free, so he's also a 0. If you have 2 of those, it costs 1, right? This guy stacks for 1, this guy stacks for 2. So we actually have just 3 stacking points here on this beachhead right now. And that's as far as they can go. Now for sugar, we have a 2, which we can see is a single advance on the all other beaches chart, or row, column. There's just 2 infantry units here, so they have to stop there. Now Roger. They also only get to advance 1. Let's see what we have in here. So similar to Uncle, got a couple infantry, a couple tanks, and a beachhead. Okay, that doesn't feel like a very good landing because the chart has several advance 2s and they didn't get to advance 2. Now we're still in the special landing phase. These units here are follow-up units, as it says here, 10th Corps follow-up wave. They will come in as reinforcements on turn 1. That's why there's a little 1 in the upper right-hand corner. So we're technically like pre-turn 1 right now. All right, but yeah, let's continue down the Gulf of Salerno to the American beaches here. We'll start with Red Beach. Single advance, not so hot. You see the Americans have a beachhead and a couple infantry units. So this is a very poor landing as far as I'm concerned. Let's go to Blue Beach. Again, another poor landing. These guys, same complement. Okay, that's all the pre-turn invasion. We're about to move on to the main portion of turn 1, but I want to point out I did forget to increase the victory point count for the capture of Maiori. So the Allies have 3 points before turn 1's really started. Okay, we're starting the German player turn of turn 1. It's the initial phase, and in that phase we get reinforcements. So here's some turn 1 reinforcements for the Germans. We'll pull those out to the side. It's turn 1 here. And we're also going to do replacements. We would look here to find if there's any replacements. There's no iconography indicating replacements this turn. You can see there's one on turn 1, 2, 3, 4, turn 4. So none here. And then we can also resupply our artillery units. None need supplies, so no worry there. And on turn 1, we can see Germans only get half their movement allowance. So I guess they have some surprise from the landings or something. So yeah, let's now move to the movement phase. So here we are zoomed out over the Gulf of Salerno, and now we're going to move in on the north edge of the map where one of the reinforcements was placed. So on the north edge of the map, there are 2, we'll call them entry areas, N1, and off to the side over here, this is N2. All right, so this reinforcement has an N in the upper right-hand corner. So that means it has to go in either one of these. So I put it into this area, and it can enter anywhere that area touches, okay? Its movement is 6, and 6 is half to 3. So because of the special rule on turn 1, so it can only go 3 movement points. Let's take a look at the movement rules. So I happen to know this iconography that is like a armored recon type unit, so it has mechanized movement. So we can see here, we'll look on the mech column. So clear is going to cost 1. A primary road is going to cost 1/3 of a point. Secondary road, 1/2 a point. Hills will cost 2. Mountains, well, mech can't cross mountain, hex sides. Cities 1, minor cities, marsh 4, and so on. So let's move this guy in, and where do we want to place him though? So this little valley here is in jeopardy from the American Rangers coming in, so maybe we'll go 1, 2, 3, or sorry, these are 1/3, so 1, 2, 2 and 2/3 to there, into that city. So the question is, Do I want them there? No, we'll come in and we'll block that city. I could even go one more right to there. And we'll stay there, I think. Now we have another unit over here. This garrison, it goes by leg movement, and the roads cost 1. They're not a half or a third for leg movement, so it can go up to 2 movement points. So 3 cut in half, rounded up is 2. So it can go 1, 2. It's not very good, yeah. Another option is I could use extended movement. Extended movement, you can add 3 to your movement, provided you do not enter an enemy zone of control. So that can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can get to there. I think I can get a little further though. The Germans have 2 truck counters that give the unit 5 movement points. So this would have 5 movement points instead of 3. And they're mechanized. So 5 cut in half is 2.5 rounded up to 3. So we don't get to go very far, but we can go 1, 2, 3. Use extended movement, 3.5. And it'd be nice to go there, but I can't use extended movement to go into an enemy zone of control. So we'll just stop right there. While you are in trucks, I believe your attack value is 0, but the truck markers come off at the end of the German turn. What else are we going to do over here? We have a garrison here, but it can't move, unfortunately. Here we have an armored recon unit from the 16th Panzer Division, and it's elite. That's what this red number is. Shows it's elite. It's a 2-step unit. I think we're going to come down this road. It'll cost 2/3 of a movement point, so we have enough, and block this commandos coming up this main road. Also, we block the side of this little mountain pass here. Okay, still haven't decided what I want to do in the main invasion area yet. So let's come down south, and we have another garrison down here. It actually can move 5, and it has wheels. Let me see, did that other guy have wheels? No, it did not. Okay, making sure I didn't cheat. Yeah, so this one is wheeled, it's motorized. It's got the little 2 NATO wheel icons symbology. So, yeah, so he's gonna go 1, 2, 2 2/3 right into here, and his total movement point's 3, so that's cool. So yeah, here's my thinking. There's a city here worth 1 point. Might as well try to protect it. So maybe this guy here, it's gonna take the roads over to here. It's also motorized, just to kind of block access there, because these garrisons can't be counted on. That might be worth 0, so I'll at least block it, access to it. Okay, way down here in the south, this is where our other reinforcement went, because there's an S on it, and these are all labeled S. We can put it in any one of these, so these are the south entry hexes. This guy is a paratroop unit. It walks on foot, so it has 2 movement points. It's not going to get very far as is, so we could add some extended movement and he can get there, but we can get much faster with our 2nd truck unit. Okay, so now the movement points are 3 after being halved and rounded up, and we'll use extended movement to get it to 6. And look on the map here, we've got a 1 there, a 2 there. It's showing how fast mechanized movement is. So we'll, as I said, we had 6, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. See, there's a 4 printed there. 5, and then half, 6. So we'll get this guy right into this little victory point spot. And now we got to worry about what we're going to do in this area here. Now, if you're familiar with this game system, you'll know that units have a zone of control around them. All right, so every unit has influence in each of the 6 hexes surrounding it. And when a unit enters one of those zones of control, it has to stop movement. It also costs 2 movement points to exit a zone of control, an enemy zone of control. And another thing about this game system is that anytime you have a friendly unit spaced 1 space away from each other, they form a zone of control bond between them. So like right between here, there's a bond from this guy's influence and this guy's influence, like connecting, and nothing can move through that. So I want to keep that in mind. Now there's no bond between these because there's one too many hexes intervening. So I need to decide what I want to do. Another thing I need to take into account is that the Allies do have some ships offshore, and they can hit up to 2 hexes from the water. So like if I moved here, I'd be in the battleship range. So I have to decide what I want to do here, you know. Being in hills doubles your defense. So maybe that guy just wants to sit there on the hill, block that road while we wait for turn 2 reinforcements, which looks like there'll be a lot. These 2 characters here, they're in a city. Cities have double defense. So we might want to keep them there. This artillery here has a range of 4. It can be used to support an attack or defense within 4 hexes. This looks like a pretty powerful armor unit. 16th Panzer, part of the 16th Panzer formation, I guess. All these guys are part of 16th Panzer. So it's kind of tough to decide what to do. I could move up to try to block the beaches, but I think I'd be sacrificing my units to do that. I could even attack a beach, but I feel like the stacks are just too tough. Like this is 10, or no, that's 7. So I think what I'm going to do is I think this guy, he's going to come in here. He's going to go like this. So if someone attacks him, he's got rivers on all sides. There's a bridge here, but that's okay. And there's no zone of control bonds, but I'm kind of making it hard for these guys to break out too far. So they do have a tank in here somewhere. Yeah, and the tank can go 5. So we'll keep that from breaking out too far while we're waiting for reinforcements. Now I do have to decide where if this anti-tank unit needs to go anywhere. Or I guess it's just another tank unit. So this guy defends at 6. Yeah, we'll keep this here. Just to hold on to Battipaglia as best we can. Alright, I guess that's it for the German turn. No attacks. Since there are no attacks, we just skip the combat phase. We enter the recovery phase, and right now the only thing that is relevant is we take back our truck markers. So we get those 2 markers back. Then we do the supply phase where we check supply. And you can just trust me right now, there's no supply issues. You can basically trace up to a certain number of hexes to a road and then trace an infinite road back to a supply source. And right now the supply sources are the northern blue areas and also the red southern areas. And I guess the green ones too on the east edge of the map. So just trust me, everyone's in supply at the moment. So yeah, now it's time for the allied player turn. So for the allied player turn, we do basically the same thing as the German player turn. Come over here, flip this over to show it's now the allies' turn. Note the allies can only do TM, that's tactical movement, so they are restricted on this first turn to a special kind of movement. So let's go over to the invasion zone and see what we're going to do. Here we are over the Gulf. Let's go in to the American zone and conduct movement here. So I'm not sure what we want to do. Might be nice to get an attack in. I'd like to take this port down here if I can. It's worth a point. But there's a decent, there's potential good, decent defense here. There's another decent defense. Again, red means these guys are elite, so they get a little bonus on the attack. Also, they're doubled in hills, and they got some armor there, so we got that. Zones of control are going to block us all through here. Probably also want to link up on this road with the British, who are right up here, so that's probably good. So this guy's probably a key guy to attack. problem with attacking this guy is we'll be attacking across the river, and the bridge won't matter. And that means the attack will have half strength. Is that right? Or maybe the defender has double strength? Let's check it out. Minor river. Defender double strength. Okay, so the defender here, he would have 8 defense. And I'm not sure we can get much of an attack in there. Maybe we can get a 1-to-1 attack. And, that might be okay. But we don't have a lot of forces. We're going to have like 4 turns until we get reinforcements. Well, I guess we have some offshore. So let's see, what can we get in there? Not a lot. We can only do tactical movement too. Tactical movement's a special kind of movement. You just move 2 hexes. Done. There's no counting movement points or anything. And you can ignore terrain. So the most we can get up there is whatever happens to be in this hex. So that'd be 6 points going against 8. The attack values on the left, the defense values on the middle. It's doubled. So I don't think it's worth attacking this guy right now. We also have these follow-up forces here. They also come in on tactical movement, and they can get up around this guy, or these guys. So that might be something we want to do. I don't like this guy being so close to the beach, so maybe this unit will come 1, 2. You can ignore stacking while moving. I should point out that each beachhead can only move in 3 stacking points worth of units, essentially. So that beachhead now can no longer bring in more guys. So we have another beachhead under here, though. Yep. And so what do we have back here? That's a 0 free stacking unit. That's also a free stacking unit, but it only free stacks up to 1, so that would cost 1. So this beachhead can handle these guys. So maybe we'll bring this guy over here to help with the attack here. It's going to be a tough attack. This guy will go 1, 2. Yeah, let's throw everyone on it. Maybe this guy will. He'll go 1, 2 into the marsh. He gets double defense, and that'll prevent this guy from coming in towards the beachhead. So I'm a little worried about what we got going on here. Maybe that guy will stay and defend the beachhead along with the artillery. If the artillery only moves 1 hex, it is eligible to fire this turn. So we'll do that. And these guys, maybe they'll just come in here. 1, 2. Okay, let's move our way up and look at the British moves. So I think my objectives here, well, one is to capture this airfield. Not only is it worth 1 point, but as long as we have it, and I think we have to push German units a few hexes away from it. But once that's happened, the Germans will not be able to attack us with their aircraft. I guess the idea is like fighter aircraft come in here and hold them off. So that's an objective, to take the airfield and push the Germans back. I forget how many hexes, between 3 and 5 or something, I forget. And I also want to link up with these commandos who are a bit exposed. So yeah, and what do we have back here? We have some strong units coming in. I want to try to keep my units' colors together, okay, because the formation matters. So this is the 46th infantry probably. They have a light tan color. And then there's the 56th infantry with a dark tan brown color. So I think we'll task the 46th with taking out this unit and linking up with the Commandos in Salerno. So yeah, let's get this guy through here. So tactical movement 1, 2. And what do we have here? Not a whole lot. So this guy will come over here. And that'd be an 8 attack against doubled 6. So it'd be nice to get some more firepower in there. So maybe this guy will come over here with him. So I guess we're not going to do a whole lot linking up here, but we'll push that guy out back a bit. And then what did Sugar have? Oh yeah, so all the 56th. So I think we want to move up to Battipaglia and possibly attack. So 1, 2, like this guy's a little too far back though, so he'll come in and go 1, 2. Yeah, it might be premature to attack Battipaglia right now. But we'll just amass forces here. Maybe this tank is going to come down and maybe come in right here. Maybe right here. Okay, so I don't think the British are going to get a big attack here. We can mark that we've taken control of Montecorvino airfield. That's a victory point. I'm off camera. We are now at 4 victory points. The Commandos and Rangers, what is their objective? I don't know. I guess hold Salerno. So I think these guys, they're going to go 1, just 1, possibly attack that garrison. This guy will come out here, can only use tactical movement. And maybe they'll, do we want to shift over here? No. Crossing into mountains without using a road just basically reduces your effectiveness. So we'll just back those guys up. And the Commandos will just stay there. So let's do some combat. So let's first look at these guys. I initially thought I would have them attack here, but they would be attacking across a mountain hex side, and that would give them half their attack strength. So their attack strength of 4, the 2 numbers on the left, will be cut to 2. Now there's a decent chance this is a 0 defense, but it could also be a 2 defense. That'd be 1-to-1 odds. I don't know. I think I'd be throwing these guys away, and I want to wait for them to maybe stack the 3rd one here later or get some reinforcements up here. So we'll hold off there. These Commandos are just going to hold Salerno while they wait for reinforcements. Let's come down to the British section. So I definitely wanted to hit these guys, push them back. So let's total the defense strength. So they have a defense strength of 3. Hills are ×2, so it's 6. And then the attackers' attack strength, which is the left numbers, we had them all up. And that is 13, so that's 2-to-1 odds. So if we look at the CRT, 2-to-1 odds column, all right? And then we have to see if there's any shifts to apply. And we can add, as the attacker first, additional support to try to add some shifts, and then the defender can do the same. The only shifts relevant for the attacker would be the tank shift, but that does not work against hills, okay? Artillery, British have no artillery landed yet. Naval fire, but it only can hit within 2 hexes of the sea, and this is 3 hexes in. But they do have some sea fires, looks like, support. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to flip them over to their used side. And so we will shift up to 3-to-1, as you can see. And the defenders get no shifts. They are elite, but the elite bonus from the red rectangle there is only for the attack. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the roll. All right, we got a 6. And as you can see, that's a D1 advanced 3. Let's examine what D1 means. The defender loses 1 step. Surviving defenders must either retreat 3 hexes and become disrupted or conduct a determined defense. The attacker may advance up to 3 hexes with his mechanized units and 2 hexes with his non-mechanized units. Okay, what that means is first, this guy must take a step loss from the D1, no matter what, okay? And then he must retreat 3 hexes or conduct a determined defense. Determined defense, you try to stay in your position, potentially taking another loss, but not necessarily. So the question is, do I want to risk this guy dying to hold the allies back there? And I'm thinking no. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. back to this location, and will become disrupted. Being disrupted has some ill effects. They can't attack, they can only use tactical movement, they cannot receive replacements. Okay, so that's not good. So now, still processing the D1, if the hex is vacated, the attacker can advance up to 3 hexes with mechanized units and 2 hexes with non-mechanized units. So we only have 1 mechanized unit here, the tank, so that could go 3 hexes potentially. Unlike some games, you do not have to advance into your defender's hex. You can go any direction you want. But I think we are going to advance up that road. I think we want to capture this road, and there's a little pass here through the mountains we might want to capture. Want to come over here to help the Commandos at Salerno. There's another road going down here. So overall, I think we want to move up there. Now we can move the tank in. So when you advance into hills, you must stop your advance. So the mech can go 3 hexes, but you must stop your advance into hills. So the terrain's too tough. However, if you're moving along a road, you don't have to stop if you're going to exit the hex via a road. So we can go 1, exit the hex via a road, 2, exit the hex via a road, 3, and must stop. If that makes sense. All right, and I don't know if I'm putting that tank a little too far out there, but we'll see. I think these guys, this heavier guy is going to go 1, 2. The lighter guy will join him. And maybe this guy will go 1, 2, or maybe 1, 2. Yeah, okay. That's that. I think we decided we're not going to attack these guys yet. We're going to wait for some artillery maybe to get on the beach. Incidentally, one reason to put the tank here is that when someone's disrupted, it's hard for them to reorganize. They have to roll a die to see if they reorganize. Whereas normally, if you're not next to an enemy, you can automatically recover. So let's move down the coast. We only have one other attack we wanted to do in the American sector here. Let's try to get this camera angle less poor here. Need to buy some better equipment. Okay, so what do we have here? I think I wanted to attack here. Yeah, so we have infantry and a tank. Infantry's defense is 3 plus 2 for the tank is 5, double to 10. On the attack, and we don't get to use any special tank shifts on the attack, we're looking at 10, 13, 15, 17 to 10. So that's just a 1-to-1. Actually, I have a correction. Silhouetted units do not get double defense in hills. Okay, that makes sense. Infantry's better than tanks in rough terrain. So it's 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. We have 17. That's 2-to-1. Okay, that's a little better. The Americans are going to use the 36 Division's artillery, so we flip that over. Okay, so that's going to give a shift to 3-to-1. We're going to bring in their tactical air unit that they have. That's 4-to-1. Their ships can't quite reach this hex. And yeah, so that's that. And there's no shifts on the defender's part. So this is a 4-to-1 attack. As you can see, that's a DRX Advance 2 result. So the first thing we do on a DRX is both sides lose a step, but they get to choose each other's step loss. So let's see, what would the Germans want to knock out? And they can probably kill a tank. Yeah, they can kill a tank or flip a strong infantry. In this terrain, I'm inclined to flip the strong infantry. Okay, and then the Americans, they'll kill the tank unit. So that goes to the eliminated box. Now the defender, according to DRX, must retreat 2 hexes or conduct a determined defense. I might want to conduct a determined defense since I do have a step available to me. Yeah, let's do this. So you have to pick a lead unit. Well, there's only one unit, so that's the lead. We look at the determined defense table. On the other column, since this is not clear city, it's hill. And we look at our die roll modifiers. This is an elite unit because of the red box. So we get +1 on the die roll. So if you add 1 to that, we can see it's 1 star / 1 H. So 1 star means the attacker takes a step loss, but the defender picks it. Well, that's nice. We're gonna kill this, or knock this juicy guy out that we already damaged. So it's got a thin stripe on it. Let's look at the back of another one. One's got a thick stripe to indicate it's damaged. So a thin striped unit is actually a 3-step unit, where a thick striped one is a 2-step unit. So 2 hits would kill a thick striped unit. It takes 3 to kill a thin striped. So let me show what we do with this. Pick this guy up. We're bringing it up to the remnant display, and we're going to take a remnant and place it in its place. So it's going to be replaced by this little garbage unit. Let's go back. So we'll throw the remnant in right here. Put these guys back together. All right, and then the other one, the /1, the defender takes a step loss. Okay, so it's no longer elite. And finally, the H, they hold. So they're going to hold that position. There's no advance. Okay, the combat phase is over. Now we are in the recovery phase. We remove disruptor markers. We don't have any. The Germans do, but the Allies don't. We then check for supply. We have to be able to trace to beachheads, like this one, or to ports. And we've captured a couple ports up north. Everyone's in supply. We're not going to check that right now. Yeah, there's no victory check right now. So that is the end of turn 1. So next time I'll probably go a little faster. But yeah, thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for turn 2.